of the evening to be fought over 5 3-minute rounds for the vacant FSC Amateur Light Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the cage with a record of 4 victories, 2 defeats, representing Varna MMA. Please welcome Nikola Zlatev. His opponent, standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He enters the cage with a record of 8 victories, 1 defeat, representing Team Titan. Please welcome Luke the Jet Trainer.
Co-main event time here at FIGHTSTAR Championship 16, and this is for the Amateur Light Heavyweight Championship. Nikola Zlatev from Varna MMA and Luke Trainer from Team Titan. And Nikola in the blue corner, Luke in the red. And we know from Luke, he's very powerful, very elusive, excellent. He's excellently in tune with his range. You know, when he strikes, he can put power at the end of the punches. You know, he's very, very talented and gifted fighter, and with a massive team behind him, such as Team Titan, they really make sure that they tick all the boxes here. You know, he's very technical for such a large man. He does make sure that he transitions that power all the way throughout his strikes and indeed his jiu-jitsu as well. You're seeing pressure, like just what we're seeing here. We see him trying to pressure to pass the guard. He's forcing the head downward. He's keeping the hips, you know, nice and heavy, and he's got a good base with his legs.
Yeah, Trainer, good prospect, and traditionally, it has to be said, in the UK, light heavyweight is quite a shallow division, really. We say that his opponent Zlatev looking for the armbar.
Nikola looking for the armbar, snuck that arm all the way around. He's got his feet crossed. He needs to fan his left leg out on the head of Trainer. This looks very, very tight. Trainer needs to stack in this position. He needs to make Nikola eat his knee. So drive the knee into his face like he's making. There we go. He's trying to make it, and then edge that elbow out, that right elbow out of that position. And then almost like Mexican wave and force his hips and then pass the guard. But he's got to sneak that elbow out of that. At this present time, you see his elbows from this camera angle, his elbow joint is deep on the hips. And that's where the leverage comes from the armbar. He's got to sneak that elbow out of this position.
Yeah, Zlatev needs to get that left leg and just curl it over the head of Trainer and just break this posture. Because as you said, with it crossed, it's enabling you to get stacked. It's a shame that now he's been passed into side control. For somebody that's thrown up an armbar that quickly, you'd expect, to be honest with you, and it's very easy to say from the commentary position, you'd expect more technical nuance to finish it, because he threw it up absolutely beautifully, but he's enabled Trainer to stack his way out of that, and now in side control and in a tough position with still a little bit of the round left to work.
Yeah, and Trainer is very heavy. We spoke about this earlier on in the round. He does a great job of forcing his power through all of his techniques, whether that's on the ground or standing up. And you can see that he maintains pressure with his knee on belly. He's very close. He maintains pressure with his head. Look at that, sneaks straight round to the back mount position. Now he's going to look to finish with strikes. He's got to be careful of the back of the head, however. He's got to make sure he targets properly in this position. The referee's looking on.
Some open hand slaps at the start of that exchange from Trainer, really mixing it up. Oh, I thought he was going to go for a head and arm choke then. On top of the half guard.
Zlatev has got to explode out of this position. He's got to look for underhooks, try and get his right arm underneath the left arm of Trainer, put his hips down to the ground, try and get the leg, you know, look for sweeps. He can't afford to just stay flat back like this. And now the crucifix position here from the half guard, and it's Trainer's long limbs that allow him still to stay in the half guard and pin the arm.
Very interesting round. Zlatev taking some deep breaths over there. And, you know, Trainer, he reacted extremely well to the submission attempt. After getting out of it, he got very busy, had some good positions, and probably stole the round back from being in a position where, you know, he was close to getting submitted in the fight. I say he was close to getting submitted. Trainer never let the arm fully get extended, and unfortunately for Zlatev, as we mentioned, he wasn't able to curl his leg on the head and affect the posture of trainer, who was very patient. It's what you expect from a guy coming from a top-class camp and with a top-class record. But it certainly kept him honest, hasn't it? Zlatev's shown that he has got threatening submissions off his back, because the way he threw up the armbar was seamless. It was really took trainer by surprise.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about his long limbs, and that can help him in many ways, but one of the ways it can work against him is there's a lot more inside somebody's guard for them to secure and work submissions.
Great point.
Nikola now working around on the outside, looking to land those punches, and the instruction from his corner was to land that overhand right, you know, but he needs to get close to do that. He needs to start thinking about using fakes and feints to set up the overhand right. He can't throw it naked like that on its own, because trainer's going to read it and start to counter it.
The trainer very relaxed and smooth in this striking exchange.
And Nikola just seems to be waiting here with his back against the cage. It's like he wants to invite trainer in to go for a takedown and then use that opportunity to take this fight to the ground. I mean, he has some success from his back, as we saw the armbar in the previous round. So, you know, maybe he's trying to draw trainer into a ground fight here.
Perhaps, yeah, it's difficult to tell. It's a dangerous game to play, though, like you say, almost a sitting duck on the outside. Trainer starting to land a couple of these low kicks. Maybe we're going to see Zlatev spring to life. Does look a little tired, Dean, if I'm honest, as well. Again, I mean, we're looking into adrenaline. He perhaps thought when he popped that armbar up that he might be in a position to win that fight, only to get that taken away and then end up really on the back foot at the end of the first round. Might have taken a lot out of him mentally. Plus, trainer is constantly threatening with these high kicks. Although he hasn't been able to land one clean, he's popping them up and definitely giving Zlatev something to think about.
Trainer now using those fakes and feints, working the teep, looking for the chin there with that rear leg of his, looking for the left hook too. But I like to see both these athletes put the punches in bunches, you know, tie these striking combinations together. They're just throwing singular shots here. That's kind of why you're getting the sort of the step back and the kind of the dead space between the air between them. They're not kind of tying the techniques together with regards to the combinations and level changes. So, I mean, it could be a respect for each other's power, you know, almost certainly at light heavyweight, they retain the power to shut somebody off instantly in a fight.
Low blow.
Low blow, yeah.
Zlatev, he doesn't look a happy customer in there. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be happy with trainer throwing bombs at me from the outside, but he's definitely seems to be struggling to get in a rhythm in the second round.
He seems just a bit deflated, doesn't he?
Yes.
He needs to dig deep and get the confidence and be like, you know what, I'm in a fight, I'm just going to go for broke here. I'm going to, you know, stay safe and not make any silly decisions, but he's got to put it on trainer. Oh, he's going to eat those big kicks and punches at range. We spoke about the range of trainer, his ability to retain the power at whatever range he decides to dictate.
Nice lead jab there from trainer from that southpaw stance.
And it's interesting to see the confidence of trainer just elevate as this fight goes on, and then the contrast of Nikola's confidence just deflate. You know, it's like a seesaw effect here, and Nikola's got to dig deep now, and he's got to come forward and you know, look for the finisher. This is for the amateur light heavyweight strap. He's got to get after it.
Yeah, I mean, Zlatev, he's an experienced customer as well. He's got 4 wins, 2 losses, so you know, he knows what it takes. He's been out there, he's felt defeat before, and he's felt wins. So now it's going to be a lot about the cornering, to be honest. Just trying to get into his head at this point and try and, you know, get something going. Like you say, he does definitely look deflated at the moment, whereas trainer, I mean, you saw even in the low blow, he did an accidental low blow. Trainer walked off with his hands in the air. You know, he's enjoying himself in there.
An interesting point to pick up here. I'm looking at the sheet. Varna MMA, and you notice the New Wave Academy in the corner of Nikola. I mean, yeah, I don't know what happened there with his coaches or whatever's gone on, but I mean, that could offset a fighter in itself. If you don't have your corner, your coaches that know your game plan in your corner to instruct you effectively, that can play a part in the fight too.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You see, Nikola's almost just waiting. He's like ducking his head. Yeah. It's just like, it's just a matter of time before a trainer's able to land that killer blow with immense power.
Unfortunately for Nikola, his right hand is low, and he's circling that way. What he's waiting for at the moment is to get knocked out with a high kick. And, you know, I don't want to see that. I'm sure trainer's corner wants to see that. I'm a pacifist. I'd rather everyone got out is safe. But, yeah, at the moment, he does seem like a bit of a sitting duck. I was saying that, I was showing a little bit more aggression coming forward here. And listen, Dean, it's easy for us to say as well on the outside, you know. This guy's, the guy's worried about what's in front of him. It's easy for us to say be more aggressive, but he's definitely been a lot busier this round actually already. You can tell he's definitely had a word from his corner, and he's upped the work rate a lot in this round. Yeah,
I mean, looking at the experience as well, 8-1-0 for Nikola and 4-2 for Luke. So, I mean, you know, Nikola's got some experience here in the amateur rank. So maybe it's that he understands the game plan. He understands that trainer's very dangerous at that range. And he's got to be very cautious in this fight with regards to eating those powerful leg kicks and punches. So
again, that left high kick, that's the danger. He's blocked them all thus far. In fact, I think one got through in the last round. Beautiful work from trainer, then going low to the body just when he has his man thinking about the high kick upstairs. Nice jab as well, and he's switch hitting now, trainer, back in an orthodox stance.
Yeah, trainer's looking to target. He's looking to target that left hand. I'd like to see him target that left hook as Nikola comes in. He dips, like you alluded to, he dips down ever so slightly to the right, which opens him up for that switch kick. But the punch is going to get there faster. He's going to see a lot less with a punch. You know, a leg's a massive limb coming flying towards you. Sometimes you can get your hand up to block that. But if trainer can start to place that left hook, you know, with a bit of load behind it, he could have some success there.
He's circling towards that back leg.
Nikola's storming forward. They're just falling shy of the reach. You know, that to get in, he's got to start working the head. He's got to use fakes and feints. He's got to actually try and touch his opponent. There we go. Landed the jab. He's got to put punches and bunches, combinations. There we go. 2-punch combinations. Now up it to 3, then 4, then finish with the leg kick. You know, try and take the spring out the step of trainer on that lead leg.
The corner of Zlatev just calling him forward. I think what they're seeing is that trainer's better on the front foot than he is the back foot, you know. Hands raised from trainer. Yeah, 5-rounder just confirmed. I was just thinking there when I saw Brad Pickett going in. Of course, only 2 cornermen allowed in the cage during the fight. So we move into the championship rounds here. Thus far, we have Nikola Zlatev struggling to come to terms with the striking of Luke Trainer. But it's saying that, Dean, you know, and I'm sure his corner's saying the same to him. He hasn't been massively rocked. It's not like he's taken a huge amount of punishment in here. But he's certainly losing on the scorecards, and probably looks, as you said, he's acting more deflated than what's actually happened in the fight. You know, it's not like he's been knocked down 4 or 5 times around and got up, but trainer, conversely, really enjoying himself, really warming into this one. Had quite a lot of it his own way in these stand-up.
It could be that Nikola's cautious with experience. You know, he's not kind of
nice
a deer in headlights. He's looking for a way in, and he understands that training's very, very dangerous. So he's just picking his time, but time's running out. There we go, just missing, just shy, just on the shoulder there. But that's what he needs to do. He needs to place that overhand right. That's what his corner was calling for him before he even started in the first round, to place that overhand right. But he's got to set it up.
Yeah, a couple of nice overhands already this round from Zlatev.
Nikola just, I mean, he level changes and there's no reaction at all from trainer. You know, he's so confident and he's so calm and collected that this fight is going to stay on the feet. I'd like to see Nikola actually change levels and look for a takedown, just to make trainer a bit kind of less comfortable on his feet, just to tee off at that range.
Yeah, trainer content to pour out 3, 4, 5 jabs in a row there. There you go, Zlatev. A couple of those overhands have got the attention of trainer. That made him change his footwork.
Yeah, and Nikola as well, he's coming forward a lot more. You know, that's what he needs. He needs confidence in his skills to land that punch. He can't do it at the range, and certainly at trainer's range. He's got much shorter reach than trainer.
Yeah, good round thus far for Zlatev. He's showing the aggression now and he's coming forward as his corner was asking for in the last round. Oh, beautiful combination there from trainer.
The trainer here, he's got to beat Nikola to the punch. He's got to kick and punch before he advances forward for that overhand right. I love the way he's mixing up the leg kicks as well. It kind of just throws the rhythm off of Nikola. He's unable just to place that overhand right. I mean, almost certainly that's what he wants to land. You know, and trainer again pouring out with that lead hand. He wants to gauge the distance. He needs to know and check that Nikola's not close enough to land the overhand right. Nice right hand there from Luke Trainer. Great footwork on the outside here at FIGHTSTAR Championship 16. Beautiful teep to the body. Some nice return fire from Nikola there, and trainer offering, you know, he's goading him on here. And it's interesting to see the response that Nikola's sticking to his game plan. He's not going to be drawn in, you know, to a firefight. He's going to dictate this overhand right on his terms.
Yeah, it's been a good round for Zlatev, really. I mean, he could easily, again, drop it on the scorecards, but it's been way more competitive than the previous two, and he's looked more at home in there. Hasn't looked deflated, been pushing forward, looking for his own attacks, showing more aggression. Much better round for Zlatev, so credit to his corner team there and himself for, you know, taking that instruction on board. And it was a couple of times, a couple of overhands at the start that really got the attention of trainer. And likewise, I've seen, and obviously these guys are in the amateur part of their career, but trainer, beautiful outpointing from the outside. He's trying to demoralize his opponent and, you know, just outclass him with almost a sweet science. In MMA, that can be a dangerous game to play. You know, you've got guys that go rounds consistently in MMA. You've seen them throughout the sport. The likes of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, guys like that. Beautiful strikers, but at the top end of the sport, they have a tendency to always go 3 rounds or always go 5 rounds. And in MMA, you're opening yourself out to that big overhand right equalizer. You know, you can be a much better striker than somebody and still get knocked out. That's the irony of it. In boxing, you've got a bit more leeway for 12 rounds, and you've got 10 seconds to get up. But, you know, Zlatev still has it open to him that an overhand right could finish the fight. And that is the risk you take when trainer, because at times he's looked like he could maybe take it up a notch and look to really damage the opponent. But he's content to stay on the outside here and don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful show of skill, but you are almost playing into Zlatev's hands in a way, because he is now looking for that big shot.
Yeah, it takes one to finish, and like you say, the longer you're in there, the more time that your opponent has to land that finishing shot, you know. But I mean, trainer is a master at his distance. A few of them actually have contacted his chin, you know, there's a few on the shoulder. But he's just doing a real good job of staying out. Like he's beckoning him on, and he wants Nikola to walk onto those shots. And again, there's that overhand right, but it's just kind of falling foul. It's like landing on the chest or perhaps the shoulder of trainer. You know, Nikola, for me, he's just got to target a bit more. He's got to set it up. He was throwing some kicks at the end of that last round. I'd like to see him mix it up and you know, try and confuse trainer as to when that overhand right's coming.
Definitely. I mean, from Zlatev's point of view as well, I mean, you've got to understand, and obviously at light heavyweight amateur ranks, he's not going to have faced anybody with this kind of movement and judgment of distance and speed. You know, trainer is a very difficult Rubik's Cube to try and solve. This guy is unquestionably a serious talent, and as I said, in the pro ranks, light heavyweight is a traditionally shallow division in the UK, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him rising through the ranks very quickly. So that's Zlatev Another couple of shots landed. But
Yeah.
as you say, moving backwards. Trainer's, he's not taking those shots flush.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, his mouth's quite wide open, which is a kind of a no-no. You know, your jaw can be manipulated more by a striker, easier to get knocked out. But like you say, it's just whistling past, or perhaps, you know, when he's close enough, it just touches the chin of Trainer. So, you know, he feels safe, but it's a dangerous game to play, leaving your chin out there, that with your hands down. But I mean, Nikola's got to get after it here. He's faking the overhand right now, but I'd like to see him fake the overhand right, come with a left hook, cover some ground, go to the body, and then back to the head, you know. And we've yet to see a takedown from these two. You know, this is the game. You fake low and go high. You fake the takedown, force your opponent, you know, to set his feet in the ground. There we go, right on cue. Set his feet in the ground so you can cover the distance. And it's interesting to see Nikola looking for this takedown, switching for the single, but you've got to argue here that he needs a finish. He's potentially down 3 rounds, you know, and you could argue that he's losing this one thus far. If he gets the fight to the ground and looks for a finish on the ground, he can have some success. But I mean, from here, he's just riding the round out, and the time is ticking, and he ends up pulling Trainer on top of him again. And if Trainer's smart, he's going to control in this position, land the strikes, you know, and just, yeah, exactly, ride the end of the round out there and secure, you know, the round in the books.
Yeah, Trainer raises his hands, surely on his way to unanimous decision victory here. Very, very impressive performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards with a unanimous decision and new FSC Amateur Light Heavyweight Champion in the right corner, So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight it becomes a 2-weight champion at the amateur level in the FIGHTSTAR Championships, becoming the light heavyweight champion and the heavyweight champion as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for your 2